Hey, great. I don't know if you can hear this, but I've tried to get the volume right, and if it works, I'll be pleased and glad you got the message. Hang on, got to have a drink. I'm getting thirsty. Hang on. Yeah, so what can I say? Yeah, so I'll talk about problems to start with. And it's funny, but whenever I mention problems, people think, God, there's a problem. And I must get rid of it, But I'm not talking about that kind of problem. I'm talking about the very first time you thought you had a problem in your life. The very first time you were a baby and suddenly you realised you had a problem which you hadn't had before. You'd never experienced a problem before. And that first problem is the key to all the other problems you've ever had. Because once you've got over that problem, you realise that it wasn't worth the hassle of worrying about it. And because you got over that problem, all the other problems that came along afterwards do not matter because you got over that first problem. So I had a really bad problem with OCD when I was younger, and when I was a young teenager, and it devastated me, it completely ruined my life. And I realised now that once I got over that, which I did get over it, it came back in certain ways, but it's something it alters your brain in a way. It alters your brain, the way you think in a way. So it might come back if you've already had it. But if you can get over that, if you got over that first time, you can get over any other problem. There's nothing. Every other problem that comes afterwards is not relevant because of that first problem when you were a baby. There's no other problem that's relevant because you got over that first problem when you were a baby. So all the other problems don't matter because of that. And there's something else I've got to say as well, which is, what was it? I can't remember. I've forgotten. Hang on. Yeah, the way that we join history together, the way that we can join our past lives and our past history into this moment, and it's not just moments that are the key. It's the sound of evolution. It's the sound of evolution. It's the sound of history having been made into the present moment. And we do that through people's voices. So all the time we think, where do I go? How do I discover history when I'm actually in the 21st century? How do I discover history? And you think, well, I just need to listen to a voice, because in that voice is all of history. It's all of our history. So as you listen to my voice, I can say, well, there's a lot more to that voice, my voice, than just the voice. There's the whole of our history in it. So when you listen to a singer in a band and you think, well, God, how do I relate to that history of man in this bit of music? Well, you just got to listen to the voice and say, is that the voice of mankind, the whole of mankind, put into a sound? And that sound is the voice of a singer or a guitar or anything. It's the sound of music. And that is how we relate to history, through music. Purely through music. Hang on, got another drink. So we we just need to imagine that character in the music, in the voice. There is a character there, which is the essence of our history, the essence of it. And that is important, the essence of our history. It's contained in voices, because that is what man has evolved into. And that took thousands and thousands of years. Okay, that's all I've got to say. I didn't have to say much. I just wanted to keep you informed that I'm happy and well and glad to meet you. And I pass on all my love to you because of what I said afterwards. And that is the way that we can know that we are individuals, but in relationships we're aware of that individuality, and by being ourselves, by being completely ourselves, and seeing the power we have by being ourselves, and not imagining that we're part of someone else or sort of part of some community or something like that. We're actually individuals, and it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in a community or not. You're still an individual. You still have that power over your body. You still have that power over your consciousness. And when we understand relationships are about individual people who are small, insignificant, vulnerable, sensitive, and easily hurt people, we know how to treat them. We can see that from ourselves by being just the small person we are, just the spark of life that we are. And we can see that in relationships. And that's why it's so important to know that when we're on our own, we are not in a relationship. And when we are with people, we are in a relationship. And that is a fact that goes into our behavior and our treatment of other people, and how well we love ourselves and them. That's all in one go. Okay, I'll leave it there. I don't want to say any more. I'll happily carry on and enjoy the rest of my day. Nice to meet you again, and catch you later. All right.